I'd like to share with you something nice in this week's Parshas Boy, from the Rebbe's father, Rabbi Levi Yitzchok Zatzal. At the end of this week's Parsha, we have the famous mitzvah in the Torah for the mitzvah of tefillin. Two mitzvahs, one mitzvah to put on the hand, and you have the tefillin sharosh on your head. Now, both in the boxes of the shalyat and in the box of the sharosh, the tefillin shalyat and tefillin sharosh, we have inside written on parchment and ink, just like we have in the Sefer Torah, but it's taken out the 4 times that it's mentioned, the 4 parshas, the 4 parshas that we have in the Torah where it's mentioned the mitzvah from tefillin. Twice in this week's Parsha Boy, and also we have later on in Chumash Devarim, we have the Parsha of Shema and also V'hoya im Shemoya. And this week's Parsha we have 2 called Kadesh and Kadesh Likol B'choir. So we have 4 parshas. Now there is a difference in how these parshas are placed and also written in the sharosh and in the shayat, even though it's the same exact 4 parshas. In the sharosh, each parsha has a separate room, like a separate place. As you see, if you look in the sharosh, you have 4 compartments. You have Kadesh, Vayikvayacha, Shema, and V'hoya. These are the names of the parshas. And each one, you write it on a small piece of parchment, you roll it up, and you place it into its own specific compartment. And that's the place where it's supposed to be. On Shayad, they're all written on one long piece of parchment. You start off with Kaddish, then V'hoya K'vayacha, then you continue with Shema, and you have at the end V'hoya Shemoya, and you roll it up, and it becomes into a large rolling piece of parchment, and you place it in the box and you tie it up. So here comes the question the Ol Mefarshim asks: why by the hand are all the parshas together, and by the sharosh you have 4 compartments, separate ones for each parsha? Explains Rabbi Yitzchok something very nice. He ties in with many things. We're just going to focus on one point. The heart symbolizes a person's faith, a person's Kabbalah's oil, a person accepts the yoke of Shemaya. The head symbolizes his understanding, as the Rebbe says in Perik Mem Aleph of Tanya. When a person serves Hashem, there's 2 stages. I'll give an example of how a child grows up. A child, then a bar mitzvah. At that time, he doesn't really have great understanding. His moichin is not really. He's not the greatest thinker and the greatest understanding of all the mitzvahs of Hashem. However, he has the first part, yes, that Kabbalah soil, that faith in Hashem, of accepting, doing the mitzvahs, even I don't understand. So the Shel Yad symbolizes that faith, that Kabbalah soil that he has next to his heart. The head tefillin, the tefillin sharosh, symbolizes his understanding. And here, Rabbi Levi says so beautiful. When it comes to the level of understanding, there's no 2 Jews the same. Some people understand more, some people understand less, some people comprehend it deeper, some people more on a shallow level. You can have 10 people in a room, they're all doing the same thing, they're all putting on tefillin. They all in Maisa mitzvahs, in the action, they're all doing exactly the same. The difference would be in their head, in their mind, in their intellect, in their capacity of understanding. Over there, you will have differences between one yid and another. To symbolize this, that's why we have the Eibishter says, in Moichin, in the Sharosh, you're going to have different compartments, different understandings of Hashem. But when it comes to the Hascholas Avoida, when it comes to the beginning, when a person has to give himself over, which we call in Chassidus more eskafia, breaking yourself, just accepting Hashem's will, over there, every yid is the same on that level. And of course, Hashem wants a person should elevate and understand as much as possible. That's why we have both tefillin, the tefillin shayat and sharosh. But sharosh symbolizes the moichin, and the yad symbolizes the maaseh b'poel. And over there, in Maisa, everyone is the same. The only difference will be in the understanding of the mitzvah. And that's why in the Sharosh, we have different compartments showing on the different levels of Yidden. Mashenkinam in the hand, where you have the Kabbalah soil, the faith. Over there, all Yidden are the same. And that's why it's all put into one singular compartment. And all the Parshas are written on one piece of parchment to symbolize this beautiful idea, the concept between the difference of Tefillin Shayad and Tefillin Sharosh.